Probably the hardest thing about being a content marketer is talking about topics and areas of interest that we don't understand very well. That is the fundamental challenge of being a content marketer, having to write about lots of different things without the experience needed to back it up and trying to sound credible in the process. And most content marketers, frankly, don't get it right. And that is why when you, as a finance person, read an article about finance, it sounds wrong to your ear because they haven't gone to the level of detail required to convince you that they actually know what the hell they're talking about. And as a content marketer, when you are faced with that challenge, the kind of obvious knee-jerk reaction, the way to respond to that is to write in vague, hand-wavy generalizations. So you'd say things like, you're going to go and crunch some numbers, or you're going to go and dive into your spreadsheet. And whilst those things are technically true, they are things that a finance person would do, they are not detailed enough to convince the reader that you actually know what the hell you're talking about, because you don't. What is somebody mechanically doing when they are crunching numbers? What are they actually doing in that spreadsheet? What kind of spreadsheet is it? This kind of vague, hand-wavy, weasel word writing is not done as a deliberate thing. It is a subconscious reflex that we have, because if you avoid saying anything concrete, then you can't be told that you are wrong. And that's probably the scariest, hardest part of content marketing. Writing a topic about something you know nothing about for an audience of people that know lots about it, the risk is that you say something wrong, you get called out for being stupid, and you and the company you are representing look bad in the process. So subconsciously, we all try to avoid that risk by avoiding concrete things. Yeah, it's a kind of risk-averse content that most content marketers create. Now, why is this relevant to the article I have in front of me? This article is the precise opposite of that. If you want to learn how to overcome this problem, if you want to take a leaf out of a company that's doing it really, really well, read this short blog post. A day in the life of a first finance hire. This is basically the precise opposite of the problem I've described. Instead of talking in hand-wavy generalizations about what a finance person does, this is 100% detailed, nuts and bolts, mechanical descriptions of the exact activities a finance person would do. To a finance person, this is hyper-credible because you're not hiding, you're not, talking in euphemism or vagary. You are laying out exactly the activities they're doing, and you can look at it and go, yes, I do that. Or, if you get it wrong, no, I don't do that, this is stupid. And this is really interesting because it's not a traditional blog post in the sense that there is no process being explicated. You don't learn a lot. This isn't going to probably rank for much in the way of keywords, but this is still great content because their target audience equals, as a spreadsheet alternative, are generally finance people. And the main goal here is just to get on their radar. So a great way of doing that is this type of content, which builds empathy and understanding and this sense of like, yeah, this person gets me. We have a really hard job. They know what I'm talking about. This is probably a company that is worth paying attention to in the future. It's basically just a story. And it's a story about precisely what this company does. And the only way you can write this is either to be an expert that actually has done this themselves, like Bobby in this case, that is his experience, or as a content marketer, if you were writing an equivalent, to interview somebody like Bobby to get his advice and his ideas and the concrete things down on paper. Most people do not do this. As content marketers, we are always coming from a place of mistrust. People assume we're full of shit because generally we are full of shit by nature of the thing we have to do. We are writing to achieve an outcome for our companies and we're time constrained and we can't go to the level of granularity and nuance and detail required to write this kind of thing. If you want to be better than that, try and write this article. Don't even have to publish it, but prove to yourself that you know the topic, you know the person you are writing about, to enough detail to write a detailed, accurate day in the life that an actual finance person or whatever they do would read and go, yes, I see myself in this. So there you have it, risk-averse content. Read this, learn from it. It will make you a much, much better content marketer.